Hi, I'm Dale Jin, and I'm going to talk about voter apathy and low voter turnout first. Alright, so question 1. The most interesting thing I found for my research was that political institutions sometimes try to purposely drive people away from participating in politics by making political ads overly complex and long so people do not read them. I found that interesting since I thought the problem of voter apathy was one-sided, but now I know it is multi-sided and institutions are part of the problem, not just people. Question 2. The most troubling thing I found from my research was that 30% of young people are not interested in politics, which is concerning as it shows that young people are underrepresented in the political arena since 30% is a big chunk of young people who are not interested in politics. Their voices are being crowded out by groups who are more interested in politics, for example, senior citizens. Younger people are the next generation of America, so it's concerning that they don't have a bigger voice in politics. I believe the most major cause of voter apathy is a widespread stigma among young people that politics is boring and does not affect their lives. There is also, in my opinion, a lack of education in the American school system about important world issues, politics, and the importance of voting. Institutions are part of the problem as they purposely drive people away from voting. And lastly, there seems to be a lack of effort to engage more people in politics. Question 4. I believe that one way that we could decrease voter apathy is by appealing more to the younger generation by making politics more of an entertainment spectacle and by adding more politics into the digital world through blogs, websites, etc. to appeal more to young people. I also believe that we should focus more on educating the youth about critical world issues, the importance of voting, and the importance of politics. Question 5. I believe that one major cause of low voter turnout is that the registration process is overly complex, along which prevents some people from voting. Another reason is that some people are unable to go to the polls because they have work during the voting hours. And lastly, the partisanship of the American government between Republicans and Democrats prevents some people from going to the polls as they may fear being judged for their votes by members of the opposing party. Question 6. I believe that one way that we could increase voter turnout is by streamlining the registration process. We should also focus on educating the youth more about world issues, making the voting process electronic, and unifying the American government under one party. I believe all those ways will be effective as streamlining the registration system will allow more people to vote. Educating the youth will decrease the problem of voter apathy. Making voting electronic will allow people to vote from where they work. And unifying the American government under one party will remove the fear of being judged for one's vote by members of the opposing party. Question 7. Institutions and people are writing more websites, blogs, and making more channels to appeal more to young people. I believe those methods will be somewhat more effective since they are definitely adept to the digital age, but the increase in the amount of young people who are interested in voting won't be substantial as there are many more websites, blogs, and channels out there that young people would rather be on. I know for a fact that I would rather be on YouTube than on some kind of political website or channel. Question 8. Some people and institutions are streamlining the voter registration process or making it electronic. They are also making voting automatic, and they're also making voting electronic. I believe that streamlining the registration process and or making it automatic will definitely increase voter turnout as it allows more people to vote. And I also believe that making voting electronic will be effective as it allows people who have work during voting hours to vote from where they work. Alright, now I'm going to talk about Robert Putnam's article, Bowling Alone. Alright, question 1. I agree with the quote since I believe that young people engage indirectly with politics through reading the news and not directly with politics by voting. Since I know a lot of my friends don't vote but they read the news every day, so I believe that young people are engaged in politics through the media rather than elections. Question 2. I agree with Putnam that it is within our power to reverse the decline, since there are several realistic things that the government can do in order to reverse the decline. For example, they could focus on educating the youth about politics and important world issues, streamlining the voter registration process, which will allow more people to vote and may indirectly cause an increase in political interest. And lastly, they could spread politics more into the digital world, which would appeal more to young people. Alright, question 3. Bridging means to connect with people who are of different social background than one's own, while bonding means to connect with people of similar social background as one's own. Bridging is more outward looking, while bonding is more inward looking. I agree that we are lacking in the bridging arena, since most people want to meet people who are similar to themselves rather than different people. Alright, number 4. The benefit of bridging is that it allows you to get ahead in society, as you can meet people who are in a higher place in society than you are. But the deficit is that the bonds you form with those people are not tight ones. The benefit of bonding is that it allows you to connect with the ones that you're close with, but the deficit of it is that it doesn't allow you to get ahead in society, as the people you bond with are probably the people you are close with, and they are probably of similar social background than yourself. I believe that professionally, bridging is more important, as it allows you to meet people who can help you climb the ladder, while socially, bonding is important, as it allows you to form deep connections with the ones you love. Alright, question 5 now. Putman means that people can use social networks in order to commit harmful actions against others. For example, many terrorist groups carry out complex operations that one person cannot carry out on their own. Basically, people use group members in order to commit harmful actions that they can't do by themselves. I do not believe that is one reason why people do not join social networks, as there are many good social networks out there, and people can choose what social network they want to join. Alright, question 6 now. I believe that social media actually helps the ideas of Putnam, as it shows the importance of collectivism, as many people use social media as a rallying platform for political change, and sometimes do cause political change because of how loud their voices become when they all gather together. It also shows the concept of reciprocal social capital, as when people follow others, they expect the other person to follow them back. And lastly, it shows the importance of human capital, of social capital in human life, as many people use social media to connect with the ones that they love. I believe that question 7. I believe that social media encourages more bonding than bridging, as it is so easy to bond with the ones you know, as you can message them or share your life with them anytime that you want. Social media also recommends you people you may know based on who you already follow, instead of recommending people that you should meet, which shows that social media wants you to connect with the ones that you know instead of new people. There are also special features for your close friends. For example, Instagram allows you to share stories that only your close friends can see. Alright, question 8 now. I believe that Robert Putnam's suggestion for solving the problem of voter apathy would be to bridge more often, as bridging allows you to meet people of different social backgrounds. And I agree that it will be an effective method, as meeting the people of different social backgrounds will allow you to see different perspectives, and those perspectives can get you to realize that even though politics may not affect you, they affect other people, and that you should be engaged in politics for other people's sake. Alright, question 9. I believe that Putnam does make I believe Putnam makes a somewhat accurate association between networks and reciprocity, since sometimes people do favors and expect something returned, but sometimes they do favors completely for free. For example, me and a lot of my friends do favors sometimes completely for free. So not every time do people expect something in return when they do favors for others. Alright, now I'm going to talk about the final reflection questions. Alright, question 1. Do you think we should be concerned about voter apathy? I believe we should be concerned about voter apathy, since it shows that This shows widespread ignorance of what is going on in the country, as if more people knew what was going on in the country, then they would be more inclined to vote and to express their opinion. It also shows a lack of education of important world issues and the importance of voting. It makes certain groups of opinions unfairly represented in the political arena, as their opinions are crowded out by groups who are more interested in voting. For example, a lot of young people are apathetic about voting, so young people's voices are crowded out by other groups who are more interested in voting in the political arena. It also causes a low voter turnout, which is in and of itself a serious problem. It also causes a stagnation of American politics, as similar groups go to vote every time and they always pick similar candidates, which doesn't allow different candidates to enter office. And lastly, it causes the death of democracy, as voter apathy causes people not to go to the polls. A democracy is built on the foundation that people are the ones who ultimately shape policy making, and a democracy can simply not function if people are not giving their inputs. Alright, question 2. Should we be concerned about low voter turnout? I believe we should be concerned about low voter turnout because it shows that people are apathetic about voting, and voter apathy is a serious problem. It also shows that the registration process may be overly complex or old-fashioned, which may bar some people from registering. It makes America less democratic, as the same groups of people go to the polls every time and their voices crowd out different people's voices. It also suggests that people may be unsatisfied with the candidates, which means that the candidates who are voted in may not actually represent the ideals of the American people. It also makes it easier for bad candidates who flat out don't represent the ideals of American people from getting into office, as not many people go to the polls to stop them. It weakens democracy, as if people do not give their inputs to voting, then the American leaders do not know what people want. Lastly, it suggests that there may be malpractices in certain states that prevent certain groups of people from voting. For example, African Americans. So in conclusion, we should be concerned about low voter turnout because it suggests voter apathy, which is a serious problem. That the registration process may be too complex. It makes America less democratic, allows for bad candidates to enter office, suggests that candidates may be unsatisfactory to the American people, and that there may be malpractices in certain states. Alright, that's all I have to say about this topic. I hope you enjoyed the video, Mr. Buddy, and goodbye. Stay safe.